Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. And of course, good morning to our partners at RWTH Aachen International Academy. Today's webinar will be held together with Leah Chen and a current student at RWTH Aachen, Mr. Huang Chengliang. Mr. Huang is also a DAAD scholarship holder of a special master scholarship program. And they both are going to introduce us to RWTH International Academy's courses and programs.
On behalf of the International Academy, welcome you all to this webinar, and we are really honored and thankful to have this opportunity today to co-host the webinar with DAAD Taipei, with whom we have been working now for 2 years, and we have always enjoyed the cooperation. So thank you, Joseph, for the great opportunity. Today, I will present a little bit about our English taught master's degree programs in engineering for young professionals at RWTH Aachen University, together with one of our current students. So first of all, I would like to give you a short introduction about ourselves. My name is Leah Chen. I am at the moment the team leader of the full-time master's degree programs at RWTH International Academy. I'm also the study course coordinator for one of our master's degree program called Computer-Aided Mechanical Engineering. So, Guangchen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Guangchen Yang, and I am a RWTH Aachen University master student with a major in Computer-Aided Management and Engineering in Computer-Aided Mechanical Engineering. And this is my second year in my master program. And I really like the city and like the university. I hope I can share some information about the study life over here in the university, and I hope I can help you a lot. So, 大家好，我是杨光成，我在RWTH Aachen University 念电脑辅助工程管理学程硕士2年级。然后我毕业于国立清华大学动力机械工程学系，然后同时也是钟卓章奖学金的获奖学生。在接下来的简报里面，我们会提供一些有关在RWTH Aachen念书的一些资讯，然后还有一些有关如何申请奖学金的一些内容，希望可以提供你们一些帮助。
So thank you for your introduction in Chinese and English. Let's get our webinar started. So today the webinar will be divided into the following parts. We'll give you some general information about living in Germany and studying in Aachen, and Guangchen here will be providing the student perspective, how is student life here at Aachen University. And then we are going to give you an overview of our international master's degree programs that are taught in English. Of course, for those students who plan to apply for one of our programs, we are going to give you a lot of application information, and we'll talk about the application requirements and the scholarship and funding opportunities, because our online application portal has been opened now since December for the new intake to apply. So from now on, students can apply until the 1st of March if you are an international student. In the end, we are going to give you more information about our student support services, including career, housing, and other academic support. So as we have shortly introduced ourselves now, you know who we are, and let's get started with the first topic, living in Germany, studying in Aachen. So Germany is, as Joseph already just presented, Germany is among one of the most popular destinations to study, is not ranked #1, I think, mostly because of the language German, but many universities, including RWTH Aachen, they are working a lot on internationalization, and they are very keen in opening more and more new programs that are taught in English, so that international students will find it easier and easier to study here in Germany, at least without the language barrier. It's also the most attractive country for international students to study in Europe. It's a land of innovation and creativity. So if you look at the big brands for cars or the industry, many of the companies are located in Germany, and that's also where our students are going to work and enter the industry after their studies. So they are not just dream companies, but they become reality after students study here. So I'm the coordinator for computer-aided mechanical engineering. Within this program, there are internship opportunities that students have to do compulsory internship, and I see they are doing the internship in their second year in Volkswagen or BMW or companies like that. It's also a very safe country and a country that is really beautiful. I've lived here in Germany now since 6 years, and every time when I travel to different parts, I'm still amazed that there are so many landscapes and so many historical sites. And one of the most important reasons why many students choose to study in Germany is because of the German university degree. It is very, very respected by employers worldwide. And also, if you get a German university degree, it's basically standard and high quality, and the employers know. So I can give you some statistics from our alumni here. 90% of our alumni land a job after 6 months of their graduation. So that's a really high percentage. And 70% of our alumni also would stay in Germany to work here afterwards, while 15% would go abroad because they get a job opportunity or PhD offer from the US or the UK or Switzerland, France, around the neighboring country. And there's still 15% who would decide to go back to their home country to take over family business or similar reasons. And so, Guangchen, you also chose to study in Germany back then, around 1.5 years ago. Why?
Yes. The reason why I choose Germany is mainly because my undergraduate study is related to mechanical engineering. And I think in the field of engineering, Germany can offer really high quality and professional study in research and practical training. And also, besides this one, I think the school also have a large cooperation with the companies in the industry. So when you study, you can do the internship or either write your thesis in a company, which can provide you practical training besides your theoretical study in the university. So based on these two reasons, it attracts me, and therefore I decided to study in Germany.
That's nice. Yeah. And now I'm going to go on a little bit about Aachen. So when you think about Germany, I think Aachen is one of the quite famous cities because of its history and also because of what is going on now with all the research going on. So Aachen is a very student oriented city because a lot of students live here due to the university. So when I walk around, I feel like it's very dynamic and lively because you see students everywhere. And another thing is that it's very international because we have more than 21% of students here are international students. And so when I walk on the main streets, I hear languages from all over the world. Maybe Guangchen here can later tell us a little bit about the Taiwan student community here. It's also a city that is located at the 3-country borders. So I'm talking about literally from where we are located. Here on campus, we can walk to the Netherlands and Belgium. We are that close. And that is really convenient for us to do shopping. If we forgot to do shopping on Sunday, we can still go across the border to do groceries. But also, this location at the 3-country points gives students a lot of opportunity for getting to know different European culture and company culture. So students have opportunities to do an internship in Dutch companies, or we organize sometimes visits to Belgian factories and things like that. So it's giving also a more broader horizon of international and intercultural understanding due to the location of Aachen. So what is your impression of Aachen?
Like what Leah said, I think the location of Aachen is really special because it is a border city, and so you can go to Belgium and Netherlands by bus or by train. It's really convenient. And because of this one, I think the culture over here is multicultural because the culture from Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany, I think it's quite different. And you can just basically go to the border city near the 3 points, and you can experience people over there and different cultures,
different
languages, and besides, because Aachen is a student city, so and most of the students are international students, so you can also experience or talk to foreigner students from different parts of the world, and to communicate, to talk, to experience, and that is important. And I think that is the part that's really attracting. And when you refer to the Taiwanese group in Aachen here, compared to other international students, we are not that big, but we are not that small. Our director of the group, we hold events. For example, a welcome party for the newcomers, for the exchange students, for people who come here for internship or work, and besides, we also go out for dinner or watch movies sometimes together. And in our group, we also provide some help in housing, or if you want to sell something, or you have information, if you have difficulties or problems in your insurance or living over here, we would always happy to help you and provide you more information about living here. Yeah.
Yes. So it's good to hear that there's a student association for Taiwanese students here. I think it's Taiwanese community here is not as big as the Chinese or the Indian student community, but it's actually really strong, and people feel a strong sense of belonging. In our program of MME CAME, I think in your batch there are 3 students from Taiwan, so you also form a very strong bond with each other. Yes, so let's move on to the next slide. I'm going to tell you something about RWTH. So now we know something about Germany, about Aachen, and now we move on to the university. RWTH Aachen University is one of the German universities of excellence, and it was established in 1870. So it's a very historical university. This year, actually, we are going to celebrate the 150th birthday of RWTH, and the university is planning a lot of cool events. So if you apply now, you will still join us by October 2020, and then you can still join some of the birthday celebrations. RWTH is at the moment ranked top 20 worldwide for engineering, and within Germany for engineering and mechanical engineering, we are ranked #1. So if you are planning to study engineering in Germany, this is the place to be. It's also receiving the most third-party funding from companies or from the government, and all these fundings go to our research and teaching quality. So to ensure students have the best and most updated labs and research facilities, and also the researchers and teaching staff. We have a very huge, diverse student body. As mentioned before, we have more than 23% of international students, and within the International Academy, we have actually 99% of international students, because we are offering English top programs for mainly international students. And the average of German universities the percentage of international students around 12%. So Aachen is having a really high percentage of international students, and I would say it's because of the reputation of Aachen, RWTH Aachen, because of its ranking, but also because international students have come here to study and they enjoy the experience. So they attract more and more. The seniors tell juniors about the experience, and then the juniors also want to come here and have the same experience, like what Quantum is going to tell you soon. And that's why we attract more and more international students. At the same time, RWTH has over 260 institutes, research institutes, as well as 15 affiliated institutes. So these research institutes provide a platform or grant for students to apply what they have learned in class. So classes are sometimes theoretical, but then they can always work at one of the institutes to write a mini thesis or to write a master thesis, or simply to work there as a part-time job to execute what they have learned in class practically, to really practice the skills. And furthermore, all these institutes, as Quantum earlier mentioned, RWTH is a very industrial-oriented university. So all these projects that you'll be doing with the institutes will be applied one day in the institute. So when you one day buy a car from BMW, you think, oh, I am the part of the research team for this function. So it's really cool for students to see what they study, what they did in the university will really be applied. So why did you choose RWTH back then?
Yeah, because while I study my engineering by training, and I approach management by joining the competitions, and this is the reason why I choose RWTH Aachen University, because when I browsed the website and I found this is a program provided management and engineering at the same time. And for engineering part, as the figures show over here, and the experience provided from the seniors on the website, I know that the study over here can provide me a really professional in the course. And for management part, because I want to learn more about different fields. So as soon as I know that the university provides this opportunity, I already made a mind to apply for this program.
Great. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please don't be shy and just write your questions on the left of the webinar room, because two of my colleagues are in the back end. Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Tuel, for being there, and your questions will be immediately answered by my colleagues. So now let's move on to the next slide. As we have just mentioned about RWTH, and actually one thing that I really am impressed about RWTH is its strong links to the industry. So it's very strong on both research, so the academic development, and also its industrial link, because a lot of our current ongoing research are really edge-cutting, very high technological, and they're working with a lot of companies. So here in this slide, you can see some company names, and they are just a tip of an iceberg of the companies that RWTH is working with. And In many universities, there's this week called Reading Week, that there's no class, no lectures. Students don't go to class in this week to study for exams. At RWTH, there's 1 week that there's no class, but students are not encouraged to study. Instead, they are encouraged to go out and see how the industry is like. This week is called Excursion Week. So different institutes, the 260 institutes, the 15 affiliated institutes, International Academy, and everywhere the faculties, they have to organize excursions all over Germany or even across the border for the students to experience the industry in this week. So they get the chance to visit factories or see companies, or they can see plants and meet the HR. So a few students of mine during this excursion week, they get to meet up with the HR of the Volkswagen, and right after the excursion week, they got an offer for the internship. So that is why we encourage students to join the excursion week, and that is something really cool that RWTH is doing. Did you join any excursions?
Yes. I joined the excursion week last time, and I think it's a really good opportunity because the school took us to the company directly, and the company will give a short introduction about their company, what they are doing right now, and what kinds of position they are offered, and is there any opportunity for internship or writing a thesis in the company related to your field of study. And I think it's really good because the direct contact makes you more high chance to join the company you want. And also the cooperations company with the International Academy, I think it's much more, it is really a worldwide company here in Germany, so that can bring you more chance to participate in this company to fulfill in your career. Yeah, and also refer to the research in the university. I also apply for the hybrid position in one of the institutes in the university. Yeah, and the cool things, I think it is that the student assistant can provide you practical experience in addition to your theoretical study in the course, and the things you will do would be provided in the industry directly. So, for example, I work in the Industrial Institute of Textile Technology, and I'm working with a braiding machine, which is not really common in Taiwan right now. But right now in Germany, the institute decided to develop this kind of things to put it in the automotive industry. So I'm really excited to explore more at this field of research. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. That's really cool that you are doing a student assistant part-time job at the ITA, and ITA has always really trendy and industry-oriented projects. So here, the next slide, I'm going to tell you something about the differences between RWTH Aachen University and RWTH International Academy. So RWTH International Academy is one of the affiliated institutes of RWTH Aachen. Basically, most of the programs offered in the university, they are offered in German, and the university does not have a lot of capacity to internationalize its programs. Therefore, RWTH has funded RWTH International Academy to help the university to coordinate and administrate English taught programs. So we talk to different faculties, try to translate all the documents from German to English. We convince professors, more and more professors, to teach in English instead of German, and to provide more offers and programs that will be taught in English. At the moment, we have 7 master's degree programs that are completely taught in English, which will go in more deeply. And within the RWTH International Academy student and alumni community, 95% of us are international. And also you will see in the team of RWTH International Academy, the staff who will be supporting you, we are very international. I myself come from Hong Kong originally. There are colleagues who are from South Africa. There are colleagues who are from Belgium, from Indonesia, and so on. So we speak different languages who will be able to support international students. Now let's move on to our international master's degree programs in engineering. As you know, we have in total 7 completely English taught master's degree programs. And now we are going to tell you what do we cover. So we have 2 types of programs. As you can see on the left-hand side, there's a column in blue. Those are our purely technical programs. And then we have another column in orange. Those are our management and engineering degree programs. So in the past, we only had the blue technical programs because RWTH is a very technical university and is very famous for mechanical engineering. So in 2006, we opened the first English taught mechanical engineering program. But as we developed more and more our programs and we exchanged with our company partners, the industry has told us that if they know students who graduate from RWTH who are very strong and top engineers, but who also know how to manage and have some management skills, they would definitely want to hire these students. That's why we have opened since 2013 our first management and engineering degree program. And since then, these programs have been very popular and especially among Asian, American, and European students, and many students who apply for the management and engineering degree programs. Also, especially if they would like to join the industry afterwards and work more as a team leader or the head of a group of engineers, then they will go for the MME programs. If students more want to really sharpen their technical skills or to do a PhD afterwards, then they will go for the technical programs. Now let's look into the programs that we have. In the technical track, we have 4 different programs. First, we have computer-aided conception and production in mechanical engineering. That is the program that I personally supervise, and it's a really nice and elite program. It's also one of the oldest and one of the most popular programs. As you can see from the title, there's conception and production. That means students can choose to focus on the track of conception of machines or the track of the production of machines. If you go for the track of conception of machines, then it's more theoretically based about simulations and design and more software. If you go for the production track, then it's more production based, so very applied science. And then we have a second program called Networked Production Engineering. It's a brand new program that will start in October. In the past, we had a program called Production Systems Engineering. Maybe you know about it. After talking with the industry and the professors, we have decided to upgrade the PSE program to NPE, Network Production Engineering, because we want to prepare the students really for the industry. So here in Network Production Engineering, we have 3 tracks. And these tracks include additive manufacturing, smart factory, or e-mobilities. So all the topics are really, really trendy, and they are hot topics that the industry is talking about every day at the moment. And then we have textile engineering. Textile engineering is the only program that is not completely taught in English. There are some elective courses in German. It's because the textile engineering professors believe that if the students would like to work afterwards as an engineer, or if they want to do a PhD here, they would like to give these students opportunity to take some courses in German to prepare them for some vocabularies of technical German and so on, so that the students will be ready right after their study for for the industry or for the academics here. Quantum just mentioned now that he's a student assistant at the ITA, and ITA is the Institute for Textile Engineering. So many people, when they see textile, they would think clothing or fashion, but when we combine textile with engineering, actually there's no limit to what it means. It can be what he just mentioned, automotive industry applied for car, the car material or composites or fibers that are high-tech and 4D or 5D material that we are talking about here. And then we have a rather new program as well that has been open now for 2 years. Many Taiwanese students also love this program. This is the robotic systems engineering. I don't think I need to explain too much on this because it's self-explanatory. So some key facts about these programs: they are all Master of Science awarded by RWTH, and they are all English taught. They last for 2 years, so 4 semesters in total. They have a tuition fee of 4,500 euro per semester. Each year we only have 1 intake in October, which means the application deadline will be the 1st of March. So these are the dates that you need to pay attention to. Then now let's move on to the second type of programs that we have, that is MME programs. At the moment we have 3 of them: Management and Engineering in Computer-Aided Engineering, which is what Quantum is studying, and he will tell us later a bit more about that. And then we have MMEPS, and we have 1 civil engineering subject called Management and Engineering in Design Concepts and Structural Engineering of Industrial Facilities. MME Construct is about risk management in industrial facilities. All these MME programs, they have a focus on both engineering and management. So they will not go so deep into engineering like the other technical programs, because students also need to take management courses. In the 1st and 2nd semester, they take 1 or 2 management courses to prepare themselves for the 3rd semester, which is only management. And then the last semester, they can choose to write their thesis in either the field of management or engineering, or of course, very often a combination of both. These are joint programs of RWTH with one of our cooperation partners, such as IE Madrid, and they are English taught programs lasting for 2 years, and the course fee will be 5,500 euro per semester. We also only have 1 intake per year, which is in October, and the application deadline is the 1st of March. So Quantum, you're an MME CAME student. Can you please maybe tell us how do you like this combination of management and engineering in the content-wise? What kind of courses do you have?
Okay, so MME CAME, the courses for engineering part is much more focused on mechanics of materials, and if you take the courses provided by this program, you can get more deep knowledge about the theoretical part of mechanics of materials, and also you will also learn the software analysis about materials related to mechanical engineering. And for management parts, I think it is cool for people who don't study management in their undergraduate degree. For the 1st and 2nd semester, they provide you 1 or 2 courses to get you step into the field of management. And right now, as I am in the 3rd semester of my program, I am fully in the management courses in one of our cooperations school in Netherlands. And the teacher from there is really good, because the professors are from the industry, and then it can give you a direct experience for the courses provided by them. For example, we have international project management, and this gives you directed impression and knowledge about how to be a project manager in an industry, and you can get some more experience on how to manage the project and some skills you need to do to apply to analyze the project, and so on. So I think this program is really cool, and yes, if you want to pursue a career in the combination of management and engineering, I think this is right for you. Yeah.
Great. Yes, that sounds really nice. So this is how the so now let's move on to the formal application requirement, because if you would like to apply and become a student at RWTH, it's important for you to know what is needed. We have the list. We have prepared a list, and in this list, you know what kind of documents you need to submit when you apply. So since our application portal has opened, you can start preparing for these documents already. These documents have to be either in German or English, and since you are international students, I think it's easier for you if you would like to prepare these documents in English. That's totally no problem. So the first document would be the CV. The CV, usually around 2 pages. In Germany, is normal for people to put a photo of themselves in the CV so that they can give the first impression already. Of course, here our tip for you would be put a professional photo of you on the CV, not one from Facebook. The second document that you will have to upload is the letter of intent, or it's also called statement of purpose. In the statement of purpose, you have to show the university why you would like to study in the university, why you would like to take this program especially, why do you think you are a suitable candidate for this program, and what's your future plan for after your graduation. What is also very important is your transcript of records. It has to be a complete transcript of records for your studies of your bachelor degree. So you have to show from the beginning to the end what you have studied and your grade so that we know your GPA. And since the transcript of record only show the title of your subjects, it would be great if you could upload also the course description, because in the course description it shows, for example, if your transcript say Introduction to Mechanics, then we don't know what kind of topic is included in the Introduction of Mechanics. Then the professors, the admission committee will look into the course description to see whether you have got all the knowledge needed for the program. Then you, of course, at some point by the time of enrollment, you will need to submit your university degree certificate. If you don't have your university degree certificate now yet because you are still at your final semester, it's okay, and you don't need to submit it yet, because this document with 2 stars at the back, you can submit it by the time of your enrollment. The same applies for the proof of English language proficiency. Since our programs are taught in English, you need to show that you have sufficient English language proficiency by taking IELTS or TOEFL. For IELTS, you need to have at least 5.5, and TOEFL at least 90 points. And you need to submit this proof by the enrollment in case if you get an admission. For the application, you still have to submit some documents, such as 2 letters of recommendation. Here, we would recommend you to have 1 letter from your supervisor and 1 letter from your supervisor or professor, and the other letter from your company that you have worked in or internship that you have done, so that we can consider the all-roundedness of the candidates. And then very important for our programs is also because we are looking for young professionals. When you study here, you'll see all your classmates are also young professionals because they have at least 1 year of work experience. So for your application, you also need to provide at least 6 months of work experience by the time of 1st of March. Here, work experience, if you haven't really started working in a company yet, student job also count, or internship would also count It also doesn't have to be a block of 6 months. It can be 2 months this summer, 2 months, 2 months. And if you put everything together 6 months, then you are also already eligible to apply. What is very special this year is the GRE exam. So RWTH wants to monitor the quality of students. That's why for students who would like to apply for one of the mechanical engineering programs, that means MME Chem, MPE, MMEPS, textile and robotic systems engineering, you will need to submit the GRE exam score card with the minimum score of verbal reasoning 145, quantitative reasoning 160, and analytical writing 3. So if you have not taken your GRE test now, please go ahead, study for it, and register for one of the upcoming GRE exams. If you would like to get more tips on how to prepare for the GRE, you can search on YouTube about one of our GRE webinars, because we try to help our applicants how to prepare for GRE to achieve the minimum requirements. If you have a degree from one of the mainland Chinese universities, so you will also need APS. But if you get a graduate degree from a Taiwanese university or Hong Kong University, Macau University, that doesn't matter. You don't need the APS. It's only for graduates from a mainland Chinese university. Yes. So what are the other application requirements? If you have a Bachelor in Engineering, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Technology from an internationally awarded or recognized university, then you can apply. Of course, since RWTH is one of the top universities in Germany, we expect students to have very good academic performance in your undergrad studies. And also you need to pay attention on the specific subject requirements of each program. Then I would like to say something about scholarships. So RWTH Aachen DAAD studying in Germany, there are so many scholarship opportunities. And one of the opportunity is what Quantum has taken. He will tell us shortly about that. So when you apply, if you would like to get a scholarship, you can take a look at the DAAD scholarship database or RWTH scholarship database. And also here in-house at RWTH International Academy, we also have a few country-specific or other kind of scholarship that applicants or students or even alumni can apply for. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about 2 to 3 sentences about your scholarship.
Okay, so this is a scholarship specific for students from Taiwan, which is called Zhongzhu Zhang Foundation Scholarship. If you want to apply for this one, please go to the website to read the requirements about the applicants for this scholarship. And then the applications count for 2 parts. The first one would be submit the needed documents. For example, you also need to provide your CV, your motivation letter, your certificate of your university, and your grades. And then, if you pass the first selection, you will join the interview as the second phase of your the scholarship, and it will be conducted in the interview form, and the form will be conducted with other students other applicants who also apply for a scholarship. And in the interview, they will also, I think, 3 or 4 examiners can actually ask you some questions based on the motivation letter you provide and the CV you provide. Yeah, I think this is the thing you need to be aware of when you prepare for an interview, because some of the questions were based on why you want to apply for the university or why you want to apply for this program. And if you pass and fulfill the requirements they want, so you can get this scholarship as a fund to suspend your study over here in Germany.
Yes. So thank you for your insights for the DAAD scholarship. On the other hand, I would like to do a little bit of advertisement of one of our in-house scholarship, especially to the female students in the audience. So as we all know, in the engineering field, it's very male-dominant still. That's why we would like to encourage international female engineers to take the step to go abroad to study. And we have here a Women in Engineering Scholarship. It's a full scholarship that covers the whole tuition fee. And each year we choose seven female students. So one female student for each program to get this scholarship. So the chance of getting this scholarship is really high. So if you know friends who would like to apply, ask them also to check out this scholarship and don't miss the deadline and this opportunity. And as the next topic that many international students are interested to know about would be the fees and expenses. So if you study at RWTH International Academy, you can expect the following fees, including the tuition fee that we have mentioned earlier, the semester fee, which will allow you to travel around the whole province for free with the train and the buses. And then there's a living expenses of around €820 per month. At RWTH, we also have a lot of career services that we provide, such as we have our in-house career team who will be there to give certain personal training, CV checks, and motivation letter check for students once they are ready to apply for a job or internship, because what they are used to in their home country might not be the same in Germany. So we organize very often internship application workshop or job searching workshop, job interview workshop to prepare students for the future career, because 2 years goes by so quickly, and then suddenly you realize it's time to apply for internship. At the same time, we also organize a lot of career day or networking nights to match students, to give students already the opportunity to get to know companies and maybe find a job position or internship opportunities. Also, as we mentioned earlier, we have a lot of excursions planned. At the same time, our RWTH International Academy, the team is there to support students, not just academically, but also culturally, socially, and including accommodation. So studying in Germany, especially in a student city, finding accommodation isn't the easiest. And we know about it. That's why we have a team of colleagues who are only there to support students to find accommodation. We have also bought a building, as you can see in one of the pictures. That is our so-called student dorm for in-tech students, so only for international academy students with furnished rooms and apartments. Yes, so that's it from our side, and I hope you have enjoyed the webinar and that got a lot of useful information. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or my team through by email. Our email address is masters@academy-rwth.aachen.de. We are also very, very active on social media, so you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or watch one of our YouTube videos. Yes, so thanks a lot for joining. If you have any questions, I think, Joseph, we are going to open the question Q&A session now. And I'm looking forward to your feedback and your questions.
Hey, Leah and Mr. Yang, thank you so very much for introducing us to the course program of RWTH International Programs. It was very nice to hear and to learn more about your university and about the programs you offer. Actually, I would like to ask one maybe a little bit more personal question to Mr. Yang Guangcheng. Well, it's according to my understanding, it's not only quite difficult and very competitive to apply for RWTH Aachen, but RWTH Aachen also seems to be famous for its quite demanding coursework. What is your experiences with it? Is it really that tough to go through the classes in RWTH, or is this just rumors? And how are you dealing with that kind of coursework? And what
Okay,
kind of
so
workload do you have?
I think the coursework provided by university, to be honest, is really tough, but at the same time, it's really also be very professional. Like if you really go to, if you really study hard and discuss with the professor, and also in my course, we would organize some discussion with students, with my friends, and we will study first, and then based on the question we have before the exam, we discuss together so that we can provide us opportunity to learn more. And so, yeah, the course is really difficult, but if you really study hard, you can really learn a lot and gain more experience on the theoretical part.
Yes, I can only agree because RWTH, some people say RWTH is the MIT in Europe, but I would rather say MIT is the RWTH in the US. So you can say that we are really both like high top university, then you can already imagine the coursework would be hard and tough. But at the same time, it's a good opportunities to train students and to prepare students for what the industry is really like, and that they will be ready for the future. So sometimes I also hear students, the exam's coming, I'm really nervous, but then RWTH International Academy is here to give them support. We have time management, stress management workshop, and also at the same time, it's just one of the experience that students need to go through as well to challenge themselves.
And then, of course, it's my understanding that graduates from RWTH Aachen do have a very, very high employability, are very well thought after by industries. So job opportunities seem to be really good for your graduates. Do you have any idea? Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any idea how do your graduates develop afterwards? How large a percentage will stay in Germany, or do they tend to go back to their home country? Or what are they doing after finishing their studies at RWTH Aachen, especially for the international degree programs?
Yes, so I can say from our programs, so the 7 programs that I have just presented about, I am in charge of the alumni team as well, so I can tell you the statistics from our alumni. Usually after their graduation, even before their graduation, 21% of the alumni already get a job offer. So when they're doing their internship or when they're writing their master's thesis with a company, the company already think, wow, our WTH, and this student is really good at communication and is exactly what we want, then the students already got a job offer during their internship or master thesis writing before they get their degree. And that happened to 21% of our graduates, so it's very high. And then for those who graduate, then 90% of our alumni find a job within 6 months after their graduation. You might ask, where are the other 10%? Some saying, our WTH was so hard, I deserve a year of break traveling around the world. So there are students doing that. There are also students who want to do a startup afterwards. We have our own alumni research grant. So there we get a lot of applications for alumni who would do a startup. And if you would have a startup company, it also takes more time to prepare and things like that. And then there are also students who are looking to do a PhD afterwards. So that's the rest 10% who are still, yeah, they just want to relax or do anything else. Among the 90% of the students who will start working, 70% of them work in Germany, and usually they go to the south, to Baden-Württemberg, or another big portion will stay around in NRW, this province, in close to Aachen, because Aachen has a lot of startup as well. We call it the ABC region, Aachen, Bonn, Cologne, because a lot of companies, industry, factories, and research institutes, they are located in this golden triangle, the ABC triangle. So a lot of our graduates also stay within this triangle. 15% of them would go back to their home country to take over family business, and there are still 15% of our students who would work abroad, such as one very common country that they work in would be the Netherlands. At ASML, for example, is one of our partner companies. It's not far from here, just 30 minutes by car. So they would, because when they are studying here, they got the chance to go there during an excursion, and they already got to meet the HR, and they got a job offer. So a lot of them work in the Netherlands, in Belgium. We also visited Nike, the factory, last month, and also Switzerland. We also have cooperation. So the US. Maybe you are also interested in whether students would stay in the industry or go for the academia. 70% of the students would start in the industry after their graduation, while 30% would go for the academia. So that's also actually quite a high percentage of students who are planning to do a PhD afterwards. I am myself a little bit surprised as well, but in the field of engineering, going for a PhD is actually really strengthening your profile afterwards, because if we look at the companies, a lot of the team leaders or head of engineers, they have a PhD degree as well. That's why a lot of students decide to go for a PhD afterwards. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much for these explanations. So obviously there's many good reasons to apply for RWTH Aachen and to study there. You have quite good ways to develop your potentials, to develop your job opportunities. Could you maybe give some basic hints on the application process? What should applicants really pay attention to? What is some kind of most frequent seen errors or misunderstandings which students who apply for RWTH Aachen really should avoid?
Yes, sure.
Could you give us maybe some tips?
Yeah, the whole application process is very simple. Nowadays, we have our online application portal, so we try to make it as easy as possible for students to apply. The application is also free of charge, so and everyone is welcome to apply, and they can apply up to 10 different degrees. So if they haven't decided yet whether they want to go for robotics field or textile field, they can apply just for both and see whether they get the admission for both programs, because getting one admission wouldn't stop you from getting another admission. Maybe back then you also got multiple admissions. Yes. So this is one tip I can give, that don't limit yourself at the moment for the application. The second point that I would like to make here is the procedure. Maybe I can tell a little bit from the inside tips, because I'm part of the admission committee. So the application procedure goes like this. When you apply, you first have to make a profile on the online portal there. Please make sure you already give the correct information, because I don't know why even at this level of master's application, people type their name wrong, and that is your first impression that you give when you apply for a job or university, and you really don't want to mess that up because you have a typo in your name, and then you need to write an email to the university and ask them to change your name. And because after you insert your name, there's no way you can change it anymore. These like names, birthdays, email address, these are only once inserted. So this is one thing. And then after you establish your account, you just need to submit your application there. It's very user-friendly. You just need to upload all the documents that the portal asks you to upload. And one tip that I can give here would be, you might be applying for more than one program or even for more than one university. Then maybe please when you prepare for the application, make a folder for each program that you're applying for. So if you apply for CAME and MME CAME, don't put all the documents together in one folder. Make a folder for CAME, make one folder for MME CAME. Then you don't make the mistake of uploading the wrong motivation letter, because that is another embarrassing thing that you don't want to happen. That the admission committee here reads, I am interested to apply for TU Berlin, and then we are sitting here in Aachen and think, why did you send your application here then? And then it's already like a big minus point, and you don't want to start from there. So read always. You can find so many information on our internet, on our website, or on the DAAD database. We are also there. You can find out all the information, what are the requirements, and what are the documents that you need to upload. Go through them again and see whether you have everything prepared, and then submit it. And basically, after your submission, you don't need to send us anything by post, because everything's online. If the admission committee finds out any problem, we'll contact you. Like if we find out your work experience is somehow missing a few days still, we'll ask you to give further support. Or if something's missing there, we'll just ask you to provide, and you'll hear from the admission committee. And in around March or April, you'll get the results also by email. So that's how it goes. The admission committee will be checking whether you are suitable for the program. So we'll go through your transcript and we'll see how your performances are like. Some of you might be worried, my GPA is not so high, would that limit my chance to get into RWTH? I would say here, don't worry, because we are looking for all-rounded young professionals. And that's why we want students to provide also their work experience, because a student who has lower GPA, but he has rich experience in the industry and has been working already in big companies, then he gets extra bonus there to balance out how his academic performance is like. So if you have published any papers, if you have any license for any of the ideas you had in engineering, any workshop that you think are interesting, if you attended one of our summer school at RWTH, those certificates, you can upload them. And in the field of additional requirements or additional proof of experiences, so all the extracurricular activities, you should also include them together in one PDF file and upload it to the portal, because the admission committee value all kinds of evidence or proof that show how you how you perform as an all-rounded candidate. Yes. So these are some tips we can give from our side. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. Just what Dia said. Just make sure that all the documents you provide is correct, your name and all the things, and make sure that you ask somebody to review your motivation letter and CV, and so somebody can help you to figure out if something is a problem over there. And also, if you have work experience, you need to have a motivation recommendation from employers, and make sure that the time should be provided for employers to send you a letter. So just ask your employers, maybe I would say 2 months or 3 months before the applications process. That will be better. Yeah. So I think if you are really careful about these tips, you'll be fine for the application process. Yep.
So if I may summarize, basically you tell us that even if you are not a straight A students, even if your marks sometimes have not been always the very top marks, there is chances, more importantly, you should be a diligent student. You should be preparing well and way ahead of time, and try to convince with also your motivation, convince RWTH Aachen that you are worthwhile this chance to study at this top educational institution in Germany.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I see that there's no more questions. Again, I would like to thank you very much, Leah and Guangcheng. And also, actually, I would like to thank Miss Tan very much, who in the background was replying all the questions during the presentation of Leah's. Again, it was a very, very nice webinar we had together. I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the application from the participants here. So I'm looking forward also to the next time when we'll cooperate.
Okay.
So a lot of
Goodbye.
From Aachen, and bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye.
Wiedersehen.